What a year. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Edwin, the Pretty Green Vinyl Guy, and thank you for joining me on the first day of 2021. Hallelujah, we made it. Guys, I hope everybody had a great New Year's, and looking forward to getting into 2021 and more videos and buying more music and sharing with the vinyl community. I wanted to do a video on my favorite albums of 2020, a reflection, if you like, looking back before we move forward. And I've got 12 albums that I've tried to rank, which is impossible because I really did love all 12 albums. But before I do that, I wanted to add a couple of little footnotes, if you like. Let's start with my favorite live album that was released last year. And it is the Pink Floyd box set for The Delicate Sound of Thunder. This was a major tour that Pink Floyd embarked on in 1988. This was their Momentary Lapse of Reason tour post Roger Waters. And this sounded great, and this was a fantastic show. I went to the show in Vancouver. This one is recorded from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York. My favorite live album of last year. My favorite jazz, I'm back! My favorite jazz album of last year would have to go to John Coltrane's The Love Supreme. Just a fantastic reissue, great sound, audiophile quality, you can hear, feel the passion. Just a fantastic album. Highly recommend getting this. My favorite album that was reissued for 2020 would have to be Tom Petty's Wildflowers and All the Rest. This was a much needed reissue. This was going for big bucks on the secondary market. But not only did they reissue it, they made it sound better. And this is fantastic. Again, an audiophile quality, something I'm going to cherish and I love listening to. Very, very good. And finally, my favorite box set of 2020 would have to be John Lennon's Gimme Some Truth. The beautifully remastered set with all of what you need from John Lennon. Again, audiophile sounding quality. You can hear every instrument. It's not, many of the older Lennon recordings are a little muffled. This is beautiful. His voice is brought to the front. You can hear all the instruments beautifully. Highly, highly recommend this. Love it. Lennon, Gimme Some Truth. Okay, so like I said, last year was a great year for music. It sucked in many ways, let's be honest, but musically it was fantastic. I have my top 12 albums, ranking from 12 to 1. And I hate to say that because they're all great. I love all of them. But really quickly, let's go through them. At number 12, Elvis Costello's Hey Clockface. Great album. Maybe my favorite single of last year, No Flag, Song 2. If you haven't heard that, it's brilliant. Number 12. Number 11, this one may be cheating a bit because it wasn't a new album, but this was a lost album from Neil Young. This is Homegrown. Great album. Great to have that out. Number 10, we have Nick Cave, Idiot Prayer. No bad seeds on this, just Nick at a piano doing interpretations of some of his favorite songs. I believe this was his set list that he was going to tour with in 2020, but because of COVID and canceling, he put out this album with all of the songs. Number 9, Tame Impala, Australian. Slightly psychedelic, ambient, beautiful album, great listen. That's number 9. Number 8 is the Fontaines DC. This is their second album, A Hero's Death. This is a bit more post-punk. The first album was a bit more punky. Great album. Fontaines DC, Dublin City. Great album. This was a really great surprise. The Pretenders. Hate for Sale. Love this album. Really, Chrissie Hynde, oh my goodness, the woman hasn't aged at all. Her voice is spectacular. Nice to see Martin Chambers back on the drums. That was something that was missing from the last couple of Pretenders albums, and you can really feel his sound on there. So the Pretenders. The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, Letter to You. This was fantastic. Great return to form. The E Street Band with that great E Street sound. Lovely album. Paul Weller, On Sunset. What can you say? The Modfather was back in great form. I re-listened to some of these last night, and I really forgot how much I really did enjoy this album. This is a great album. Okay, top 4. McCartney, 3. You know, I was skeptical, but I gotta say, this is fantastic. And the haters can hate all they want. This is way better than Egypt Station. It's not even in a comparison. I will probably never really listen to Egypt Station again. This is one for the ages. This will age very well. It's a great, great album. It's probably better than McCartney 1 and 2, to be perfectly honest. Long-Tailed Winter Bird, great intro. Find My Way, great single. Pretty Boys. Deep, Deep Feelin'. Wow, what a track. And of course ends with the reprise of the Long-Tailed Winter Bird, When Winter Comes, which was, I guess, a kind of a lost track of his. This is fantastic. Don't listen to the haters. Get this album. Number 3. This was really hard. This is probably my most listened album of last year. I do a lot of cycling, and I found this album amazing to cycle to. Who knew? Bob Dylan, Rough and Rowdy Ways. Of course, with the Murder Most Foul, which was his first #1 single ever, I believe. Bob Dylan, this is fantastic. It's bluesy, it's folky, it's rocker. Oh, it's so good lyrically. Loved it. Number 2. This was a new find for me last year, and absolutely fantastic. This is Khruangbin Mordecai. This is a Texas, I think they're from Texas trio, mostly instrumental. I think this one has a bit of vocals on it, but I believe their earlier albums were strictly instrumental, so this was a little bit of a change for them. But fantastic album, Khruangbin Mordecai. And my #1 album of 2020, drum roll please, is Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Now, these are all great, but this one had a freshness to it, something just that we hadn't heard before, that worked. The rest all kind of follow a pattern of, you know, Springsteen, Bob's Bob. They're good, but you know what you're getting. This is really good. This is got so many different things going on. Her voice, Fiona Apple's voice, is fantastic. The musicianship, everything about it, the lyrics, how the album flows. It's catchy. You'll just hear yourself. If you don't have this, I highly recommend this. Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. So there you have it. If you care or don't care, my top 12 albums of 2020, they were all fantastic. And if you don't have any of those 12, I highly recommend each and every one of them. So you guys, that's it for looking back. we'll be looking forward. I saw there's Andrew from Tales from the Crate already has a vinyl tag up. Of course, I'll be jumping on that because I love doing stuff like that. I want to thank you all for supporting my channel. Best of luck to 2021 to each and every one of you. Pretty Green Vinyl Guy, signing out.